Hey everyone, it's Flava, and today we're going to be looking at 5 reasons why you're losing your Overwatch games as Reinhardt. So number 1 is standing in the choke. You don't want to stand here for too long, alright? They could have, anything. They could have Junkrat, they could have Roadhog, right? That's a lot of damage, and every time you stand in the choke for too long and you just sit there with shield hoping that the DPS does something, you're wasting valuable time and shield resource. Try your best to move forward while holding shield or shield hopping. This way you can maximize your distance covered and make sure you don't take too much damage while moving forward and doing damage yourself. Number 2 is charging in Gunho, alright. Now, I've said before that charging is super important as Reinhardt, and it can turn the tides of fights and it can win you fights all by itself. But there are times to charge and there are times not to, right? If you're standing in the middle of an enemy team, you're walking up to, say you're on attack, Hanamura first, and you're walking up to the choke point, you're looking at the enemy Reinhardt and you charge him, you're dead. It's over. His team are going to heal him. There's so many stun heroes in the game, you're probably not even going to pin him. So it's a wasted life. You're down a main tank and your team's going to lose the fight because you're not there. So don't do that. You don't do that. It gives them a ton of ult charge. You lose first fight, you lose time, and you lose some morale with your team. If you are going to do that, make sure you either have a Zarya or a Nano ready to go for you, just in case, to keep you alive. But that's something that requires higher, coordination. Number 3 is not ult tracking, especially against an enemy Reinhardt. If you're in a Rein v Rein scenario and you're not ultimate tracking the enemy Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, and he shatters your team and you lose the fight, that's 100% your fault. Saying Reinhardt Shatter, be careful, is not no. If the DPS say that, that's one thing. If the healer said that, that's one thing. But if you say that, you're Reinhardt. You block the shatter, not your DPS, not your tanks. You have to block it, and that means you have to keep track of his ultimate. So just watch him, right? Don't hard tunnel vision onto him. Just watch him every now and then, see what he's doing. How much he's swinging, how much he's hitting with Fire Strike. That'll give you an estimated idea of how fast he's getting ultimate. And honestly, guys, there's no secret tip to learning how to ult track in the game better. Just play the game. That's literally it. If you wanna skill, go into either quick play or competitive, and just pick a hero on the enemy team and just focus them. Find out how long it takes them to get their ult. Just keep your eye on them the whole game. Yeah, you can't afford to let the Rein get a shatter through and not block it. I know. I know I still let shatters through sometimes because I'm either outplayed or I don't see it coming, and that's definitely a blind spot in my Rein play. Number 4 is not knowing the Reinhardt tech. Tech is something that you can use to, a technical skill or something like that, right? Reinhardt has a few techs. There's the famous one, right, is the Fire Strike animation cancel. This is where you swing your hammer and then you instantly Fire Strike, and that should cancel the animation and squeeze in a little more damage in there for you. Another great tech that you could use is shield hopping, which is basically where you jump backwards while right-clicking shield. This will allow you to move faster backwards than it would if you were hard shielding, and hard shielding is basically just holding shield the whole time. So if you walk backwards versus shield hopping, you move faster and you can still protect your team. Be careful against doing this against widows who are, trained. They'll shoot you when your shield is down, or they'll take out a squishy or something, so make sure you're careful. Sometimes you got a hard shield, but shield hopping is definitely a good tech to have. And for the last tech is Reinhardt has actually a hammer. He has a weird hammer hitbox, so turning to the right or left will actually extend your hammer hitbox. This one's really hard for me to explain, so I'm just going to show you a clip of this happening. So as you can see, the Reinhardt hammer actually extends when you're looking in a different direction versus when you're facing your opponent, which can be really good if somebody's either fleeing or going into your team. And the last point is, of course, not wasting shatter. Don't waste this thing, right? I can't tell you how many times I've wasted a shatter because I thought that the enemy Rein either wasn't gonna block it or because, someone wasn't gonna stun me. Basically, guys, shatter sucks. Well, it does. It's actually really great, but against a good composition with hard stuns and CCs, say they had Reinhardt, Brigit, they have Zarya, that is going to be really hard to get a shatter through because Zarya can block it with bubble, Brig can block it with her shield, Rein can block it with his shield. It's going to be really tough to get a shatter through. So honestly, if they have a comp like that, just take the 1 to 2 kills. Honestly, guys, don't go for 6Ks, don't go for 5Ks, don't go for 4Ks necessarily. You can go for 4Ks and 5Ks. If you have to go big, you just have to recognize, right, when the fight needs you to go big and carry with a huge slam, or if you can just just do a light one, maybe 1 or 2. Like, it's worth it. It's not, okay, excuse me. It's not worth it to solo shatter a DPS unless they're ulting, right? Like, if the team comes in and you solo shatter Soldier, that's wasted. But if you solo shatter Reinhardt and he dies, that's their main tank down, they lose. Simple as that. Simple as that, guys. So, if you're not solo shattering a tank or a support with ultimate, make sure you get at least 3. Try for 3 if you can. You don't have to get 6Ks. If they come around, good work. Like, good job. But hopefully, guys, that helps you win some more games on Reinhardt. This hero can be kind of tricky, especially in today's meta where there's a lot of stun. But he is more so than ever coming back. He's going to be good, alright? Brig's getting nerfed, and Reinhardt's really good. So, hopefully, guys, I can help you a little bit on your Rein games. If you have any question, leave them in the comment section below. I've been Flava, and I'll see you all in the next one.